You can reconnect. Okay, how to modify a template? So normally it's not possible to modify a template directly or apply patches. Okay. Because we cannot power on, we cannot edit, we can't do anything directly on a template. It's a common interview question. Okay, so to answer here, convert template into a VM and then apply changes or patches and convert the VM into template again. Okay. This should be your answer. Convert a template into VM, apply changes, and then convert back into VM template again. It's simple answer you can answer with respect to template and cloning. Okay. During cloning or a template, deploying a VM from template, is it possible to change OS? During process, it's not possible. After making a copy of it, then we can, if you want to modify, let's say source machine has, okay, VM has 2016, Windows Server 2016. If you clone or if it is a template with the same, if it is a template or clone, you get a machine, same OS, either from template or from same. So after making a VM, then if you want to modify, you can modify, upgrade or format, whatever one changes you want, you can change later. Okay, after process you can, during process not possible to modify. Yeah, thanks. Okay, modify template or patches. Why we have to convert a physical machine into virtual machine? Or if it is a virtual machine already, why we need to do V2B? First we'll say V2B, physical to virtual. Why we will do physical to virtual? Anyone? Why we need to do physical to virtual conversion? Yeah, Gopal.
To reduce the cost, if it is running still with physical machine, then we can convert that to virtual machine.
Yeah, so one of the direct answer is like cost, reducing the cost to maintain physical server. In case of hardware failure, you need to contact hardware vendor and get replaced. Every once in 2 years, you need to upgrade firmware. So there will be a lot of maintenance and lot of cost. Power bill also. Every month you need to pay some power bill if you're using physical server. So there are a lot of drawbacks using a traditional physical infrastructure. So to answer directly, to get the virtualization benefits, cost is one secondary thing, like other benefits like maintenance. If you want to increase the disk space in virtual machine, it's just less than 1 minute of task. If it is a physical, oh, increase hard disk in a physical machine. You need to call hardware vendor, ask him to deliver same hard disk which is compatible with your physical server. It will take some 3-4 days to deliver that hard disk. Once it is delivered, you have to insert inside a physical server in a open slot. Slot should be there first of all. If open slot is there, you need to insert. Once you insert, again you need to create RAID configurations, take down the server, configure RAID, then power on again. So a lot of maintenance will be there. Okay, and cost also. You need to buy hard disk. You need to pay for the hardware vendor. Here, virtual machine, just go to edit settings. Within a minute, we can expand. You don't need to bring down your server also. Within a minute, you can. So all those benefits, we can take the maintenance advantages. During hardware maintenance, you can do vMotion. In case of hardware failure, HA will restart. So all are benefits of that virtualization. cost, main thing, the secondary, whatever it is, like V motion, disk expansion. Just example I'm giving. If someone goes in depth, you can answer these things. Okay. Just simple word you can say to get the virtualization benefits, we use it. Then what are those benefits? Cost, power consumption will reduce directly. You can take the advantage of vMotion, maintenance like disk expansion, all those things. We get a lot of benefits. Main thing HA, in case of hardware failure, still our applications will quickly restart on another server. If it is physical, if that is failed, same thing happened in our lab. Like physical server is down now. So daily 20 to 30 people are waiting to just perform the lab. Okay, it takes like we need to buy a new server now. It's almost outdated. And you need to buy a new one like that. Like if there is a physical server, if it is something like business application is running, right? So that application will be down until you fix it. Like all those benefits of physical to virtual conversion. Now V to V, virtual to virtual. Why we need to do virtual to virtual? Yogesh, why we need to do virtual to virtual? It's already virtual, right? Why we need
to
to do
change from one platform to another platform, like Hyper-V to VMware, something like that.
yes. To migrate, not to check, you have to use a word called migrate. To migrate from Hyper-V to VMware or any cross hypervisor migration. Let's say cross hypervisor migrations, we need to convert a virtual machine into target hypervisor compatible virtual machine. Example like Hyper-V to ES6i. If you don't remember this exact word, right, blindly you can say like convert from Hyper-V to ES6i or ES6i to Hyper-V, whatever it is. Just tell that. Yeah, direct you can say. Example itself as an answer you can say. If you don't get this exact definition during interview, definitely during interview you will have some nervousness. In that nervous, you will not get the exact word. In such cases, you can just directly tell, as the Yogesh answered, right? Hyper-V to ES6i VM. To convert from Hyper-V to VMware, we use it. Just that's it. Simple answer if you understand. To migrate from Hyper-V to VMware. Okay, so we use V to V. Otherwise, another example is move from one data center to another data center within Hyper-V or within VMware vSphere itself, from one data center to another data center, one location to another location. If you want to move a VM, this is also one of the example we use case we use. Clear? Any questions as of now? Yeah, non-ES6i to ES6i. Either way. Any simple words you can answer, not a problem. But concept is that. And if you just listen, you will feel confident in answering, but you need to remember also, like whatever the method you prefer to remember these answers, always you have to try that either by heart. It's not required by maybe others. Once you listen this proper explanation, you can remember. It's up to individual's memory, right? So whatever the method that you can remember this answer, okay, try to prefer remember simple answer by heart, whatever it is. Your learning method, you try to apply. Fine. What is an appliance? common question. You can say like pre-built virtual machine by any application vendor. You can say pre-built a VM from any application vendor. It will have like example is like OVE or OVF. Open virtualization archive, open virtual format. So appliance normally VM with OS plus application installed by them already. The virtual machine, it has operating system and application also inside it. Just compressed and shipped, and we are calling it as an appliance. It is easy to ship from one location to another location, or easy to install this application. You don't need to worry about this application installation. It is installed by vendor properly. Okay, this is called an appliance. Virtual appliance is nothing but virtual machine with some OS in it and application also installed as per application vendor specifications. You can say pre-built VM from application vendor with OS and application in it. Okay, like OVE or OVF. Okay, that's one. Here, remember about appliance. Appliance mostly comes with Linux OS only. Okay, so the 99% you get with any Linux OS and Windows OS you will never get. Okay, so like our vCenter also. Is vCenter is designed by VMware, right? So what is the VM OS in vCenter? If you download a vCenter appliance, it will have some OS inside it. Not Photon, it's a Photon. PHOTON, Photon. Photon OS, it's developed by VMware. If it is vCenter appliance, Photon OS plus vCenter application installed in it. If it is SAP appliance, it will have some Linux OS plus SAP application. If it is Cisco UC appliance, I'll just give multiple examples. We can just remember. Any Linux OS plus UC application with the name itself, we can say like SAP appliance. Okay. Some Linux OS plus SAP application. So vCenter also comes with Photon OS plus vCenter application. Depends on the vendor. In our case, at least vCenter we should know. Others, you don't need to worry about these things. Okay? These are just examples I'm giving. In our case, you remember the vCenter. If someone asks what is the OS inside vCenter appliance, Photon OS, developed by VMware. It has a series called 1, 2, 3 and all. Latest is 3. Okay? That you don't need to even remember, just Photon is fine. Okay? And the database. PC appliance is called VCSA also. Nowadays, only appliances are available, no Windows-based centers. Okay, what is VCSA? What is the OS in VCSA? It's a Photon OS. And what is the database? OS is Photon OS. And what is the database used here? Exactly. Postgres. Postgres is open source. That means anybody can download and customize as per your need. Okay, you get to open complete database source. You can download. You don't need to develop anything. Then modify as per your needs. VMware has done that, and they named it as vPostgres. Very simple things like even L1 admin can answer. That's why they ask during interview. People like learn who like us will not be able to answer. Many others. That is advantage for you to compete. Even some real-time guys who is just like everyday work, they are going, they are working and going. They are not reading basics like this. Even with 3 to 4 years of real-time guys will not be able to answer. They don't know what OS is there. Okay. Because seniors will log into OS vCenter always to troubleshoot. They will never get chance. They will not know what is it. If you are not reading, it's not like with everybody. If you are not reading, right, it will be advantage for you even to compete genuine guys. Okay, so once you go through all these answers, if you can by heart and remember as per your learning methods, you can confidently answer during any interview. You don't have to worry. There is a real-time guy who came for an interview with a lot of certifications on his resume. Don't need to worry about that. You don't need to consider who is doing all such show-offs in interview. At least nowadays, video calls, right? If you go to face-to-face interview, we used to see all those things when we were attending live in face-to-face interviews. There will be like one or two guys with lot of certifications on it, like you will be speaking a lot in the interview. I mean, during waiting for the interview, right? Like in the lobbies, they'll be doing all those things. Even if he has genuine experience, he will be so confident. But you don't need to worry, like these kind of basic things you don't not know. Okay. If he's really aware, like really aware of the subject, he will be quiet. Why he will not be simply showing off in front of others. Okay, don't need to worry about all those things. Looking at others' resume, others' behavior, whatever it is, you ignore. These basics they will not know. Not everybody, I mean, at least most of the people, at least what we see in this competition now, will not have all these basics. Okay, it will be advantage for you. But try to remember the answers. Okay. Clear? As people even nowadays calling for face to face, even you don't need to worry about confidently you can attend it. Once you are confident on our answers, I mean, whatever we discussed here, confidently you can go and attend. You don't need to. If you, I'm sure at the end of the sessions, once we discuss all, go through all the topics, and if you can remember all of them, at least 90% if you remember. I'm targeting more than 100% questions. Okay, if you remember answers, at least 90% or seven, even let's say worst to worst case 70% of the question and answers what we discussed until end of the sessions, right? Definitely you can crack 9 interviews out of 10. I can assure. I mean, current situation. Okay. Out of 10, you can clear 9 interviews because we are going through each and every interview, possible interview questions from each topic. But your job is to remember them. Whatever the method you use to remember it. Okay. Fine. I'm not overconfident. I'm just saying, like, even my manager, like with 13 years of experience, he was not sure on this. Okay, when I was saying like we posted, he was not sure. Like he was checking in Google. I mean, VMware documentation. Then he realized that. But like he's not. You don't think like he's not technical. He's over technical, over the experience. If you reach like very senior position, these basics you will miss it. Okay. So difference between like VM Next Net 3 and he can't remember all those very basic. At least myself, I'm every day I'm discussing. I can remember few basics. But if you're a senior technical person, you will miss some basics. That's the reason. With respect to my manager, I'm saying at least which I noticed. Not all managers, but if, these kind of things will be benefit for you. At least this at this stage, if you can clear one interview, also that's enough. That's our target now. You don't need to clear 9 out of 10. Okay? We're expecting one. That's our target. We are targeting. If you get one, also that's fine. Clear? And I asked you to prepare everyone's resume by Sunday. No one has approached me. Maybe your resume is already active. And if someone wants to modification, those guys did not. I told you to contact me before Sunday. Everyone resume should be up to date. If whoever is looking for a job, at least now. Okay, so it's fourth class, right? Fourth or third? No, first day also we discussed. This is fourth class. By then, like you should have resumes ready, or at least if you are not started your preparation, start now. It's too late already now. We have discussed around 30 questions already. Okay, it's too late. Start today at least. And from today onwards, we will have a demo mock interviews. Randomly we'll ask. Don't leave the session until we say it's over. Even if you're not sure, like maybe if not yet started your preparation, learning them, that's fine. Don't be quiet. Just say, I'm not sure. I have to prepare. Whatever it is, just give your valid reason. Okay, today don't be quiet when we ask questions. We started it for your benefit. Okay, make use of it. If you're not sure, answer. Just say, give me valid reason. Whatever. Fine. BCSA. What next? Any question from basics until we sphere? Basics definition. BSc, vCenter. Okay, vCenter architecture also will take it now. So what is PSC? This is also when we are like when we are discussing OS and database. It's important we discuss components of vCenter. What is PSC? Very common question. Services or service? Correct. Platform services controller. Okay, so group of vCenter component like slug, I know, SSO, certificate authority, Madhumati, do you have laptop open?
No, I'm on my phone.
Okay. Josna, do you have laptop open? Just raise your hand if someone is ready with laptop and ready to search. Okay, I'll take Gopal. I know like you are in office, that's why I didn't raise your name first. If you're ready, like if you can search, just search for the component, PSC, the PSC components. I just listed here 3, right? I need like at least 2 more. Just try to find the components of PSC and just type here. If you're not able to speak, just type. And doesn't stop others to search. Others also can search from mobile or secondary mobile or laptop, whoever it is, single sign. This, I'll check for it. Okay. Identity management, that is SSO. Identity management is nothing but SSO. Okay, directory services also same SSO. And HTTP reverse proxy, that's not a security token, it's a SSO. Directory services also SSO. Common logging, yes, that's a syslog. The three things we have already listed out here. Licensing, that's a good one. Licensing, common logging is syslog. HT? STS is same SSO. It's a component. STS is the security token system. This one. This is part of SSO. SSO uses token system to authenticate. It's STS is part of SSO. Licensing one new thing. Messaging is new thing. SSO. SSO. SSO is the authentication. VMCA is the certificate authority, which will provide certificates. Like when you add a host into vCenter, right? Add a host into vCenter, it will ask you to sign the SSS warning, right? Warning will be there. We need to click on yes. That's a certificate issued between vCenter and the host. Make sure that they are authorized products to communicate each other. Yeah, licensing is the new one. Registration, maybe I'm not sure why you have to registration service it's useful. Maybe this is something. Messaging is like RabbitMQ. RabbitMQ, I don't think messaging will be there inside it. vCenter will not have any analytics. Maybe vCenter doesn't have analytics. PSC components low. Maybe they would have introduced now. Is it 8.0 or 7.0? Licenses, license management system. Okay. At least remember these four things. Okay. License management. Four important terms: SSO, CA, certificate authority, syslag, and they're just syslag means it will store all the logs, vCenter logs, ES6i logs. It will be stored in the syslog, not VMlog. VMlog will not be there in syslog. Okay. Syslog, common repository, common disk where it will store all the logs. Okay. Then license management. We assign licenses to ES6i, vCenter, right? vSAN. Like some features we will use key licenses. The licenses will be, license management will be there inside it. Single sign-on is a directory service, like it will, instead to log into the vCenter, we normally depend on Active Directory. I'll just draw you. I explained this during the vCenter architecture, but we'll quickly see now. Earlier days, 5.0 days, before SSO was introduced, this is our vCenter. It has vCenter application functionality. You can connect to it and manage. Yeah, .NET based application. We can connect to vCenter and manage VMs and hosts. But to log into vCenter, it used to depend on Windows based Active Directory. By this, if you have attended classes, Active Directory, something like, let's say, SVIT lab.net is the domain in our lab. That's a domain we use. Once you install component called Active Directory here, we have to enter this name. That's how in our lab we have entered SVIT lab.net. Now, once the vCenter is installed, we will integrate it vCenter with Active Directory. This is even nowadays also we are doing that. Okay, even before SSO it was the only option. Even now also it is it's the major option we use, the primary option. So we used to connect vCenter application with domain. Now, after this only, when you are logging from your laptop, this is your laptop. You are connected in the network like this. Here it is administrator. When you log into vCenter, either .NET base or web client, older days web client 5.0 web client is there. So when you connect to this vCenter, you need to enter username and password. Here you used to enter user9@svitlab.net and its password. We will enter this username and password to log into this application. So here, first of all, user9 should be created. username should be created inside this domain. This AD means it will allow us to create user accounts and passwords here. Your user account is created inside this domain. While logging in, and also permission should be given here. Once while logging in, you will enter this username @svitlab.net and password. This vCenter doesn't have any valid authentication mechanism. అంటే ఇది కరెక్ట్ యూజరా కాదని చెక్ చేసేదానికి ఏం ఇక్కడ ఆప్షన్ ఏం లేదు. ఇదేం చేస్తుంది, డైరెక్ట్గా దీని కనెక్టివిటీ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఉంది కదా అప్లికేషన్. It will send this username and password to Windows AD. It will be verified here whether you have valid username and password here. If it is valid, then it will return back, yes, he is a valid user. And then vCenter will verify this user has access to this application or not. That's the second thing, authorization. Then if it is given permission, then he will allow to log in. It used to work like this in traditional way. Even nowadays, it works the same way if you use this as different Windows-based Active Directory. Okay. So now from 5.1 onwards, SSO was introduced. Okay, directory services. You have replied with directory services, right? Okay, that is something called from 5.1 onwards. When you install vCenter, there is a component called SSO install, single sign-on. During this SSO configuration, we have to give one domain name here. Instead of using domain name here, we can create our own domain here. The default domain in vSphere. This is also one common interview question. What is the default domain in vSphere? vSphere.local. When SSO is installed, while installing it will ask name. This is the default name that we give, vSphere.local. Here also we can give user, create user. Now there is no AD connectivity. When you are using this 5.1 onwards vCenter, when you log into vCenter, you can give list user 10 @vsphere.local. This is the same method we are using in our lab also. Administrator @vsphere.local we use to log into our lab vCenter. Okay, now because this user is created here, he has permission also here. You can directly here, once you log into vCenter, now instead of sending it to Active Directory, it sends it to the SSO. Here it uses the SDS service, security token services. Here it's a component of SSO, STS token system. It will issue a token to the SSO. SSO will validate whether this username is password correct or not, and it has permissions. Then it will reply with another token stating that he is a good guy to log in. That's how it works in SSO. It uses STS token system. Okay. Fine. Instead of depending on Active Directory, we can use this one. But still, across worldwide, 99% people are still using Windows-based authentication instead of local. Very few cases, local-based system also they are using now instead of depending on Active Directory. Some cases, both also possible. Okay. Here, understood now, Active Directory integration versus local domain. So that is SSO is the main component for directory services. That's your reply. STS is a part of SSO. Certificate authority, when you add a vCenter a host into vCenter, it will issue a certificate. Okay. Like earlier it didn't have. Now it has their own certificate authority system. Okay. Not only between host and vCenter. When you add other components to vCenter, like vRealize components, vRealize suite products are there, like vRops, vlog inside, VRO, VRA, multiple products are there. When you add those products to vCenter, these certificates will be used. Okay. So, log, collect the vCenter and host logs, all logs at one place. And if something goes bad, if you want to read why it happened, collect logs from here and analyze it. Okay. Licensing, it will have key management system. So key management services. Once you buy a license, the vCenter PSC will validate whether that is a valid license, what VHS are allowed to use with that license. Okay. One more question we discussed. What was the question? I think local domain, right? What is the default domain in vSphere, in VMware vSphere? Okay. Whatever. vSphere.local. Okay, so this should be your answer. Local domain. Clear? And another thing, I said something common into the question. We realize something. What is the other question I said? Like we realized some important one I said, right? Clear? Any question? And VM kernel is different. VM kernel port group is different. Don't confuse here. Ask them like clearly what they're asking. They're asking for VM kernel port group, or he is expecting only VM kernel. That's why when you listen his question carefully, you would have answer already ready with you. So listen, concentrate. Don't be tense. Like just concentrate on the interviewer's question. You don't need to nervous, right? Either you are, even if you are sitting in front of you, in front of that interview panel, or maybe on video call. Don't be nervous. Yes, you cannot even identify whether you are fake or not during the interview. Until you verify documents, you can't find that. Okay? Even if you say answer wrong answer, that's fine. It's not like everybody should know everything 100%. Even I don't know 100% from vSphere. Okay, something new will be always there. Fine. When we change jobs, something new definitely will be there. That doesn't mean you don't have experience or you don't have knowledge, right? So maybe you are not aware of that particular component. You can say I have no idea about it. Fine. So just you need concentration. You don't need to be tense when you are attending an interview. Okay, good point. Embedded PSC and external PSC. We'll discuss it now. If you have attended the, I think we'll get right. Okay. Not sure if you have attended our vCenter architecture topic or not. For maybe I'll just quickly brief now. Once you deploy VCSA, vCenter server appliance, while deploying this vCenter, either Windows based, whatever it is, doesn't need to be VCSA only, it may be VC also. When you are installing this vCenter, there will be two options. Select embedded PSC and external PSC. Embedded means nothing but PSC plus vCenter component, both will be installed in one machine only. Means here PSC component and vCenter server application both will be installed in one machine. It's called embedded PSC. External PSC means you need to have two machines, separate machines. This is one virtual machine, this is another virtual machine. This is also VCVM and this is also VCVM. Two machines for one single vCenter application. Here PSC only will be installed. Here vCenter application will be installed. Two machines. It will have a different IP. Now, even if you enter PSC IP or vCenter IP, both it will connect to the vCenter only. So it's externally, it's not directly inside the vCenter, right? That's why it's separately there. That's why it's called external PSC. PSC is coming from separate, but both are dependent on each other. vCenter application is dependent on vCenter, PSC. Okay, these two applications are dependent on each other. What VMware feature will you apply to make them keep together? My question itself has an answer. If two applications are dependent on each other, we need to apply some VMware feature to make them together always. These two machines are always together. That's the answer. Now, embedded, you understand, like PSC and VC together are there. External PSCs, PSC separate, VC separate. these two machines are there, two VMs. This is VM1, and with PSC component, it VM2 with vCenter component. In Affinity, there are two. Which Affinity? Oh, sorry, Affinity itself, right? Okay. DRS rules has two. Inside that, Affinity is the correct one. Yes, correct. Affinity rule. Okay. Affinity rules we will apply to keep them together. Okay. What is embedded PSC and external PSC? Embedded. If the PSC and vCenter components both are installed in the same machine, same VM, external PSC installed. If the PSC is PSC and vCenter are installed on different VMs or different machines. It's called external PSC. That's it. Only differentiation. Functionality remains same. Okay. That's it. Any other question from these basics? So those are the major questions from vSphere components. Which one? ఇక్కడ that we know. ఇక్కడ అవసరం లేదు. DRS రూల్స్ సపరేట్ గా మళ్ళీ డిస్కస్ చేస్తాం. Ramesh, what is the default domain used in vSphere? Domain. Yes, there. So default domain that we use that will be created once you install vCenter. vSphere.local. Yes. Okay. Just hold on 10 minutes. Like, you don't need to wait. We'll randomly ask some questions, okay, from not today's topic, previous topic. I'll stop my screen share. It's your answer, right? You have to answer. One and two. One and two. I'll just cover it. 3 years. Okay.
Okay, hi. Tell me about types of virtualization, if anyone knows.
Like we have a couple of virtualization like
Who is,
server.
who is this?
Venkat,
Sorry.
I'm Venkat here.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me.
Yeah, server virtualization, network virtualization, application virtualization.
How many types?
There are five.
Sorry.
There are five types of virtualization:
Okay.
server
Okay.
virtualization, server
Mm-hmm.
virtualization, storage
Okay.
virtualization, desktop
Mm-hmm.
virtualization, application
Mm.
virtualization, network
Mm.
virtualization. Yeah.
Okay. Please be muted. Okay. What is the minimum requirements of VMs to provisioning? Anyone knows? Minimum requirements to provisioning the virtual machine.
Sorry.
Venkat, please be muted. Others will give the
Yeah,
chance.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what is the minimum requirements to deploy the virtual machines? Minimum requirements to deploy the virtual machines. I mean, so how much RAM we need, how much CPU we need, so like that, how much disk we need. So you have to tell me. For which version it is? You're saying? Madhukar waits for some time. Madhumati, can you tell me? I mean, how much CPU, how much RAM? Suppose I am deploying that 2019 OS to install that ES, I mean, virtual machine. So how much CPU, how much RAM, how much disk we need? Two 2019 OS. So anybody knows? Here, anybody knows? Tell you guys are installing that. But you are not telling. Virtual machine, requirements.
Two CPUs, four,
Two CPU?
5 GB RAM and 500 disk.
4 GB RAM. 20 GB. 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, 2 CPUs, 4 GB RAM, and 40 GB for Windows machine. Linux means 20 GB or 16. 16 or 20 GB for Linux machines. For Windows machines, this we need 40 GB. Okay. Nagendra, can you tell me types of disk types? Nagendra, can you unmute? Are you guys listen? Are you there? Okay, leave it, leave it. Josna, can you tell me about that?
Repeat the question.
Types of disk types. Hard disk types.
Type.
Just tell me hard disk types. So when you are going to provisioning the virtual machine, you have to select right the disk
Yes.
type. Yeah. How many types that is? Okay, mute it. Malkar, just wait. I'm asking Josna, please. Anybody knows here?
Yeah, two types. Tick provision and prim provision.
Okay. How many types of tick provisioning?
Two types.
Two types.
In tick? Okay, tell me that.
Eagle
Laser,
zero and lazy zero.
One person, please. Sunil or Ravesh. Anyone, please.
Eagle zero and lazy zero.
Okay. Just mute it. Chandra, how much maximum RAM can support in VSPR 6.0? 6.0 and 6.5. How much RAM support to the virtual machine?
Which machine?
Yes, exactly. How much maximum RAM can support in VSPR? Huh? 6.0 and 6.5. So that is 12 TB. Okay, what is the content library? Anybody knows? What is content library?
Version.
No.
OS.
Okay, what is? No, not OS. Have you seen that content library in the vCenter server? Guys, have you seen content library? So I'll give the clue that templates where you should store the vCenter server. Suppose you guys are created template where should store the vCenter server. Huh? Anybody knows? Anybody knows? Content library. No, content library should store files and templates should store in the content library. Just go through that, like go to the vCenter server and go through that content library. Okay. No. Okay. What are the files should create when we deploy the virtual machine? So Madhukar, tell me that. What are the files should create when we deploy the virtual machine? Anybody? Yeah, Jaychandra, it is, yeah, correct. VM files only. Okay.
.vmx configuration file, .vmdk, descriptor file, .flatware
Right, one
file.
person. Then we should know, right?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Okay, another question. What is the size of swap file? When you guys can see, right, in the data store, the swap file will create, right? When you power on the virtual machine, the swap file will create in the data store. What is the size of the swap file? Suppose I assign 2 GB RAM to that virtual machine. So how much size of swap file will create in the data store?
Equivalent to RAM size.
2 GB only.
No.
It's equal to
No.
VM, which you have created.
No.
It's equal to
double.
allocated RAM.
It's double. Okay, suppose if you assign 2 GB RAM, if you power on the virtual machine, the swap file, it is 4 GB. Create double. Okay. Resolution. Okay. Just a minute. The class completed yesterday. Suppose I am creating a template. What is the file should create in the data store? Suppose template.
VMTX.
I'm creating what? Sorry.
VMTX.
Okay, correct. Hardware version of 6.7, VM hardware version in 6.7. 6.7. 6.5 is 13 and 6.7 is 14. Okay. Okay, that's all. We'll discuss tomorrow for other question. Please be prepared. Tomorrow, not group wise, we'll ask. Each one person will ask tomorrow. One by one, we'll ask, and we'll also note it, and we'll give feedback as well. So make sure you guys can read it properly. And after the class, we'll discuss every day. And also, we'll give the marks as well, but not. We'll not discuss in the group wise. We'll discuss personally to everyone, and we'll give the feedback about it. Okay. Thanks. Please be there. Just a minute. Please. One.
Okay, so if no questions, we will discuss tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.